So Crypto Universe, I'm back with another video, and today I wanted to talk more about the adoption that's going on and the domino effect that's about to take place due to Circle going public on the New York Stock Exchange yesterday. So now, just a day later, Gemini, the New York-based crypto exchange Gemini, they reportedly have filed paperwork to go public with the SEC on the New York Stock Exchange. They filed their paperwork with the SEC recently. So this is a report coming from Decrypt saying that the crypto exchange announced that it's planning to go public today. They put out a press release. Actually, the press release was today on Friday, saying that it confidentially filed a draft registration statement on Form S-1 with the US SEC for a proposed initial public offering. The exchange is run by twins Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss. The two are famous in the crypto world because of their early bet on Bitcoin that boosted their wealth. They're also known for playing a role in the creation of Facebook. So I'm sure most of you have heard of the Winklevoss twins' involvement in what would eventually become Facebook and why they're tied to it. If you haven't, you could go watch some documentaries or watch the Social Network movie. I think it would be better to watch some documentaries and interviews because it's a little more accurate, but that's neither here nor there. Gemini's move comes one day after shares for USDC issuer Circle began trading on the New York Stock Exchange, with the price of Circle quadrupling its offering price on Friday. It's incredible. It's gone up about 200% more or less. It's gone up several hundred% in a short period of time. It started at like $30, and now last time I checked, it peaked at like 100 and change, something like that. Very exciting. A number of crypto companies are hoping to follow in the footsteps of Coinbase, America's biggest crypto exchange, which went public in 2021, especially now with a crypto-friendly president in the White House. The new Trump administration's SEC has scraped a number of high-profile lawsuits against firms in the digital asset space, with Wall Street regulators saying that it will take more of a collaborative approach to managing the fast-moving industry. So they're trying to put the narrative out there that these politicians are more forward thinking, and it's not to say that they're not, but in my opinion, when something gets to the point of feeling like it's inevitable, now you have to try to switch up and act like you were down for it the whole time. And maybe they were, but I'm just excited that they're clearly trying to get ahead of the 8 ball before it's absolutely too late. I do believe there are some countries that are gonna just dig their heels in the ground and not try to get involved in this emerging industry that's clearly on the brink of greatness. And speaking of greatness, Cointelegraph put up a major update regarding stablecoins and a bunch of massive companies, FANG type of companies. So Apple, X, which is formerly known as Twitter, Google, and Airbnb are reportedly in early talks to integrate stablecoins, signaling big tech's growing move into crypto payments amid shifting U.S. policy. So we all have to keep referring back to the Genius Act that came out, that's been talked about for the past several months, really picking up steam, where it's going to be the first, well, it hasn't been official yet, but it's going to be, in my opinion, the first major bill signed in that is going to start to establish some sort of regulatory framework around the crypto space. I know many people in crypto, they still don't want to see that sort of thing happen because many people want a scenario where you overthrow the government, and I understand because a lot of what the government does is extremely inefficient, but at the same time, most people in society, they just want to go along with the program. They're not really going to follow that. And in order to, we just have to look at this from a business mindset of like, what can just make us some money? What do we believe is going to be the future? And in order to get the general public on board with this sort of adoption has to happen. Once it's to the point where we sign in the act and you start to see an official US stablecoin come out, and then on top of that, Airbnb is accepting stablecoins, X is accepting stablecoins, Apple Music and Apple is accepting stablecoins. By default, people will get on board. Like, that's just inevitable. But moving on, I want to go to the last story here for today. Speaking of stablecoins, this is another report from Cointelegraph. So Deutsche Bank is exploring stablecoins and tokenized deposits, including issuing its own token or joining an industry initiative. So again, when you hear these reports about early talks and all of this stuff, or you hear reports saying that they're exploring blah blah blah, at the end of the day, they are much further in the process than they want to admit. They have already talked about this they've talked about this nonstop for several years already. And if they're putting out reports, rumors saying that they're exploring and considering it, that means they already have several plans in place and contingency plans already in place. And I'm interested to see how soon we're gonna see this happen, because the world is going digital. Things are getting tokenized. Everything will be on the blockchain eventually. Just like how once upon a time, things used to only be written on paper, but eventually people had to adapt and put everything on on digital devices, which has now become our new normal. Everything will eventually shift to being on some sort of ledger, some sort of blockchain. And that's just my personal opinion. Maybe you disagree. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. How soon do you think it'll be before you can pay on Airbnb and Apple with stablecoins? And then also let me know, how soon do you think it'll be before companies like Gemini will be listed on the New York Stock Exchange?